Wow, that freaking plot drop was nice! So, they actually managed to fill a plot hole why so many actual civilians never got hurt by the antics of all these witches going about in the city. So, Kazane being the entire source with her crazy amount of magical power, keeping the entire city in check where nobody can get hurt, is insane. I love the way they introduced this into this episode. The way they managed to actually focus the plot right here, that was awesome. Because, I mean, we've seen so many crazy fights in this anime already that I was beginning to wonder, like, why is no civilians actually recognizing that there's any witches here? I know they could probably erase their memory, but why is nobody probably dying? And so, now that we always seen why Kazane was always freaking out when a building was getting destroyed, if you remember when the White Princess destroyed an entire building, and then pretty much you got Kazane freaking like, no, no, no! Well, that's because why? She was using her magic to be able to repair everything. So, I like that. I like that entire aspect, the way they did the plot right there. So, we got the true villain that was introduced this episode, Weekend. That's a really bizarre name, but I love the entire character design. Really mysterious, doesn't look that physically strong, but looks very strategic and tactical like a villain should be. Now, honestly, I love the way the villain Weekend used the entire plan of blowing up a bomb the size of the city to weaken Kazane's powers to where she drops her contract, runs out of magical powers, and literally the Tower Witches can go on a rampage in the entire city trying to find Takamiya. So, it really adds to the intensity of this arc, and I'm guessing later episodes to come for whatever we're going to see. Probably going to be some major stuff going down. There were some comedy elements once again in this episode with the fabulous 5 Tom Popo at the beginning of this episode. I was shocked with the instant fan service with freaking Ayaka in a Mizuki. I was like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden you see him in a dream and the fabulous side's like, gee, just staring at him. Man, I love Tom Popo and the gang. They're so adorable. And then the way you get to see the epic freaking mood swings of Ayaka. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's get into the entire subject. Ayaka's like, we're gonna go and do Spartan training mode, teaching Takamiya how to use magic. So she summons a freaking flaming familiar, starts to hit him around and all that, but he gets a scrape on his elbow, and I was like, oh god. He's like, oh, we need to stop the training, Takamiya. This is enough for today. You gotta scrape it on your elbow. He's like, no, I can keep going. And so she switches from carrying Spartan mode to just, like, grabbing him up, throwing him off a building, and saying, oh, you need to think of something to be able to how to fly. I was like, whoa, those mood swings. So, besides that, I felt like it was an adorable episode in certain moments, and it managed to keep the actual feels of what Witchcraft Works does best. I really enjoy almost this entire episode. One thing that did bug me, though, there is only one thing that did. I don't know if it's just because of me, or it's because of they actually decided to rush things, but the pacing of this episode felt a little bit off. I mean, a little bit faster than it should have been. I don't know if it's just me seeing that, or if they really did manage to cut something out of the manga, because I haven't read the manga, so I don't know if they really did cut something out. Besides that, I felt like the villain was good this episode. Not the best villain I've ever seen, but it was definitely a good villain for this series. And the villain's definitely going to be probably a lot better than Medusa was. We all know what happened to Medusa, just getting literally just pimp slapped to the side like nothing by the White Princess. So, hopefully we can actually put up a fight these upcoming episodes, and we'll actually have some form, I guess, a really good standing in the series that'll make me actually want to hate her and at the same time like her as a villain. There was one thing that popped up that was a lot of plot that developed in this episode, and I was actually very curious of what the hell I was seeing. We get to see Ayaka remembering, I'm guessing, the past or future. She was looking as herself in middle school and talking to, it looks like, an adult version of Takamiya. Now, let me get into this entire aspect. If you take it from the standpoint, if you listen to Takamiya talk again, that entire scene looked like Ayaka was in a dream world. It was Takamiya acted like he's from the future, like he's retelling events like a storybook, and so I was thinking to myself, like, that is very weird. Now, we've already came all to the conclusion that, you know, Ayaka and Takamiya is linked some form or fashion, and that pretty much they've lost their memories in the past. But now, why do I get the feeling that there's something else going on in the future, like pretty much Takamiya has some connection with the future later on in the series? I don't know, because it just really gave that actual feeling in that entire scene. But I did enjoy it. It definitely had a different atmosphere than the other scenes of this episode, and it added, I guess, a more mystery feeling to Witchcraft Works, and I felt like that's going to be a major central point later on in the series, because I think the memory section of the series is actually the major thing that's going to probably be worked up into the major plot in the end. We know the White Princess is one of the major plot devices, and that'll probably be one of the main villains in the end if she turns out to be an evil villain. But there's something going on here, and I feel like the plot is still just developing. Sadly enough, this series is going to be ending very soon in just a couple weeks. I honestly don't know how they're going to tell a good plot in this ample amount of time. It's not a good amount of time to be able to, I guess, end off a good, I guess, ending of Witchcraft Works. So either they're going to leave it on a cliffhanger, an anime original ending, or most likely they're going to wait for a season 2. So, honestly, I'd be fine with a season 2. I really would. I like this series for what it's done so far. It's kept its entertainment value up, and I'd probably just watch the series, honestly, if I didn't like it, just for Tom Popo, because she's just an adorable character. Tell me your thoughts on this episode. What did you feel about it? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? And what was your favorite moment of this episode? And what did you feel about that fan service? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. What did you feel about the giant freaking nurse familiar that Takamiya summoned? That was just downright perverted. That was just freaking hilarious. That was absolutely funny how he managed to think of something like that and summoned Ayaka in that giant nurse form. That was just, whoa. Okay, anyways, this is going to be the end. Tell me your thoughts on it. Y'all wonderful day and out wherever you live. Please stay safe. Chibi out.